Hello, everybody. This is a community meeting, the June Kubernetes Community meeting, and this will be live streamed and posted publicly on YouTube. So please be mindful that whatever you say is being recorded. We have a code of conduct, so please be excellent to each other. My name is Laurie Apple. I'm coming to you from Berlin, Germany. I'm representing SIG's Contrabex and Release. Please, as a courtesy, everybody mute when you are not speaking. And at my last check, we didn't have a note taker yet, so can we get someone to do that? Can we have someone speak up and add their name as a note taker? I see Tom Stromberg. Can someone pitch in and take notes? Okay, I guess I will do that. So we should go to our release
I'll
update.
do it. You're not doing it, Laurie. I will do it.
Oh,
Lucky will do
thank
it.
you.
I'm just going to get the doc up.
Thank you. So shall we move on to our release updates? We've got for the release development cycle, Taylor Dolezal, our release lead. Hello, Taylor.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Hope that you're having a fantastic Thursday. I definitely have an update for you. I want to let you know that as of yesterday, we have a couple bug fix releases that came out, 118.4, 117.7, and 116.11. There is a known issue with 118.4, and I believe the team is looking at that. Next up on the list, we've got cherry pick deadline, which is going to be July 10th, and release target on that one is going to be July 15th. August through December 2020, we have all of those releases planned and documented in the meeting notes. And we did have some schedule shifts, just as an update. So if you have not seen that, please take a look at that. I'll be sure to link to that in the meeting notes as well. Other than that, I've got nothing. Hope y'all, again, have a fantastic Thursday, and I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, thank you so much, Taylor. Moving on to our contributor tip of the month, which is also a demo of Triage Party, and Thomas Stromberg will be here to present on that.
Cool. Can everyone hear me, I hope? Yes. All right. Let me share. Oh, can't share my screen yet. It says host disabled attendee screen sharing.
Try now.
All right. Wonderful. Looks like it works. All right. So Triage Party. So let me talk a little bit about Triage Party real quick. So my name is Thomas Stromberg. I'm one of the Minikube maintainers. Minikube gets a lot of incoming issues. For a lot of people, it's their first experience in Kubernetes. Not everybody is super technically adept, and a lot of people are, and Kubernetes is just complicated, frankly. So we have to help a lot of people, and we felt like we were really dropping the ball last year. So we ended up with this idea of somebody who is on triage duty. We would rotate between the maintainers every week to kind of go through the issues, and we had this long, complicated document to actually say, like, here are the queries that we run. And it was time consuming, and I felt like we were going nowhere. So I did like what any good engineer does and tried to automate myself out of a job. So I created Triage Party. So I'm going to show you the version for the instance for Minikube right now. So you can follow along by doing tinyurl.com/minikube-party. And hopefully it'll load quickly. So this is instance hosted by Cloud Run. And what we can see, let me go visit the daily. So what we can see here is this page is our daily triage page that we use, that we're supposed to empty out once a day. And it's a good example of some interesting features that we have in that we can do some basically querying how long ago something happened. So this one isn't that amazing. It's unprioritized issues older than 5 days. But what is interesting is that every rule that we have has a clear resolution path to make sure to get this box empty. And this page should be empty at least once a day, and will give somebody a really nice message when this page is actually empty. So you can see that it's doing state tracking for pull requests that need review. For instance, this one has new commits. We are also able to do things like, with the state tracking, needs information but has an update. So these have been labeled as triage needs information. But what you can see here for this receive tag is that the author of the issue has actually come back to us with more information, and we need to go ahead and see what they have to say, for instance. So we can see here they've provided some more information. So now I can go ahead and say this is no longer a needs information kind of issue. So we also have a weekly triage, and this is where we get to show off one of the other unique features, which is, so for our weekly triage, we host a Zoom meeting that anyone in the community can participate in. And so you can see we've got 55 items listed here for covering in our weekly triage, which sounds like a long, boring meeting. But we are able to parallelize the effort using multiplayer mode. So if there are 6 people in the meeting, then we can assign player numbers based on who's there, and it splits the work up among, it'll split the work among 6 ways based on the GitHub IDs. So this has turned out to be one of the best features, and where Triage Party actually got its name. So we've got some other things. One of the new features that we just released in the most recent beta is a Kanban dashboard. And so any of these pages can be shown as a Kanban dashboard. It doesn't necessarily make sense for all of them, but a good case where it does make sense is this milestone view, which shows us a left to right progression of here is where each issue is in terms of state. Has anyone started to work on it? Has progress started? Is there a PR? Does the PR need review? Is it reviewed but needs a merge, or is it done? So one of the fun things that we're able to do, because we've automated all of this, is we are able to make completion ETAs for a milestone, because as software engineers, we all suck at time estimation. So this is kind of an attempt to hint to the person running the milestone that, hey, this milestone is going to be late unless you start reducing the number of issues on it. So the rows here are all just different queries. Sorry, the columns are different queries, and the rows are swim lanes for assignees. So you can see here's the available work that nobody has picked off. And if you prefer a item view, this shows the same exact issues, but in kind of the more classic format. So it doesn't have to be just done for milestones. There's also this page important where we can click, these are things marked as priority, important, soon, or urgent. And we can click on the Kanban dashboard view of this if we like as well. So any page can be a Kanban page. We also show some basic stats here for, like, right now there's a 1.4 day average wait for users to hear back from us. And we have, this is much better than when we started Triage Party. It was 40 days on average at that point. So, I'm going to show you how to start your own Triage Party. I'll start it 2 different ways. This is a Kubernetes meeting, so I will do one of them as a Kubernetes cluster using Minikube locally. So this one's going to take a little bit because there's no cache state since it's a brand new cluster. And then one I'm going to run locally for the Kubernetes Community repo. And this one should come up pretty quickly. So let's look at the Kubernetes Community repo. So you can point Triage Party at any GitHub repository. It won't necessarily load as fast as this one if there's no cache. But here we can see, for instance, for weekly triage, they've got some issues that are important soon, but we haven't heard back from these. There's been no update for over 60 days, which is unusual. So we have a milestone view here as well. Same thing we were seeing in Minikube. So how are these things configured? Here is it's basically a pile of YAML as is the Minikube or the Kubernetes way. You set your repositories. You can have multiple repositories to query across. You can rely on the normal member relationships on GitHub, or you can code your own. This is synced from our owners file. So for each page, a page is just a collection of rules. So for instance, if we want to see this rule further down, it's basically just a set of filters, filtering for anything that doesn't have a priority label, doesn't have a triage label, and was created over 5 days ago. The Kanban rules look a little bit more complicated because they have to figure out, like, has the assignee opened a PR? If so, put it here. So let's look at the, there's a more simplistic version, of course. Doesn't all have to be complicated. This is a pretty minimal version. And if we load up the version that's running in our Kubernetes cluster locally, here you can see the minimalistic version loaded. So we do have a fair bit of documentation now on how to get started and how to deploy this wherever you feel for deployment.